I don't understand her. I don't understand that she does not see that her husband, the President of the United States, is struggling. She's got to do something about this and realize that this is not any good for anybody, especially the country.
Bill, you went through the divorce, we mentioned that, and the deal that was kind of brokered by the judge, my understanding was very much in your favor, not in her favor, because Joe Biden got involved, brought in a new lawyer, made it a big case when it didn't have to be. The judge kind of shocked you in the courtroom by the deal he worked out, and Joe was humiliated, embarrassed, and it seemed like he wanted to take revenge on you. Do I have that right?
You have it exactly right. The court case, I had no idea where this was going to come. At this point, I really thought that, okay, we're getting a divorce, we're moving on, and a lot of people think that they are shocked what she has said just recently in the last couple of months, and how she's taken like a whole new course of taking control and literally making decisions, I believe, for the President of the United States. But here's what happened. Back there during the divorce, I was very successful very early. When I married Joe in 1970, we didn't have a dime. And I took a little bit of an inheritance from an uncle and opened up a very successful Stone Balloon nightclub in Newark, Delaware. It's probably listed as one of the top 10 college bars in the country, Greg. But we get into this divorce, and what I saw a couple nights ago with her on stage, everybody thinks, oh my goodness gracious, this is such a shock. But guess what? In my divorce trial in 1976, I walked into court. We tried to make a deal. We offered her up to $1 million. She dumped her lawyers, hired Joe Biden's former law partner, and I am telling you, for 3 days, it was a person that I truly did not recognize. She was bitter, and I've never said this before, Greg. I'm only sharing this with you. She was bitter, she was nasty, and she said things in the court that were crazy. She was accusing me of stealing millions of dollars from my own business over the 5 years. Stuff like that. This brought the IRS in. This brought the Department of Justice further in my life. It was brutal, Greg.
So the judge saw through all that, though, and understood that something not right was going on, and I believe, just do me a favor, because I got to get to something else, gave you a pretty decent settlement, all things considered, correct?
When I walked out of there, the money that I had already paid her previously was the amount of money that he awarded. He awarded $1.5 million, but knocked off some things for her education. So yes, it was a big celebration for me. I was shocked.
All right. So it was a temporary celebration, because a couple of years later, you are, I don't think anybody can say somebody whose $8,000 bill for payroll payments is 8 days late, and you're indicted. I believe we have this up here. It's United States versus Stevenson. This is all the way back in 1982. The Stone Balloon. You owe $8,000 in payroll, I guess, taxes for your employees. That was due on March 31st, the first quarter. All right, these are the first quarter payments. You can show me the next if you don't mind. And 8 days later, you were arrested and brought into court. Now, it doesn't work that way anywhere. They don't make it a federal case if you are 8 days late on an $8,000 payment. I don't think this would have happened, a federal indictment, had Joe Biden not been involved. And I feel very confident in saying that. Do you?
I feel extremely comfortable, confident that you are correct, Greg. This was unheard of. We call it the Biden revenge war, so to speak. And he came after me with everything. But this wasn't the worst. Real quick, not only was I indicted for being late on $8,000 in withholding taxes by 8 days, 2 years later, they come out and charge me with making a false statement. When they didn't get me and they got my brother in the first case, they literally came out after my brother. He pleaded guilty for a couple misdemeanor charges. A couple of years later, they indicted me for making a false statement on an $8,000 car loan.
You were being picked
It
on.
continued for 5 years.
You were being picked on by the biggest deal in the state, Joe Biden.